You won't believe what happened to influencer Ashlee Jenae on what was supposed to be the happiest trip of her life. She flew to Zanzibar for her 31st birthday, stayed in a luxury villa, and then she got engaged. But just as everyone thought this was a fairy tale, the story takes a turn that still doesn't make sense. Because not long after the celebration, Ashlee was reportedly found unconscious inside the villa, rushed to a local hospital, and then she was confirmed dead. No warning, no goodbye, just gone.
I find it hard to believe that a lifestyle influencer, 31 years of age, goes to Tanzania with her fiance and takes her life. You heard what I just said? Ashlee Jenae was found dead in a Tanzania hotel, and her fiance...
And here is where it gets even more chilling. Her family released a statement dated April 12th, 2026, saying they are seeking justice and clarity, and that an active investigation is underway right now. But here is what nobody is talking about. The shocking details emerging from Zanzibar, the question authorities can't or won't answer, and the desperate search for the truth that is unfolding right now. What you're about to hear is the complete timeline of events surrounding the sudden and mysterious death of influencer Ashlee Jenae, also known professionally as Ashlee Robinson. This is not just another celebrity tragedy. This is a story that raises serious questions about safety, accountability, and what really happens when paradise turns deadly. Before we continue, I need you to understand something. This case is still actively being investigated. The family is seeking justice, and the more attention this story receives, the more the pressure authorities face to provide real answers.
She really went from celebrating love and life to actually being found lifeless, and her family has every right to be questioning, asking the questions that they asking, because they do not add up. I don't know if I'm too deep off in TikTok streets, so y'all on the same street as me, but have y'all ran across the story of Ashlee Jenae? If not, I'm gonna run it by y'all, and we're gonna talk about it in the comments.
Ashlee Jenae wasn't just another face on Instagram. She had built a genuine community, known alternatively as Ashlee Robinson in professional circles. Ashlee had cultivated an online presence that resonated with thousands who looked to her for inspiration in fashion, travel, relationships, and personal growth. At just 31 years old, she represented a generation of digital creators who had transformed social media from simple posting into legitimate careers. Those who followed her knew her energy, her smile, her ability to find beauty in everyday moments while sharing the highs and lows of modern life with refreshing honesty. She was sharing her journey, and that journey had led her to a moment many people dream about, celebrating a milestone birthday in one of the world's most stunning destinations, with the man she loved, at a resort that promised luxury, romance, and memories that would last forever. Ashlee had been in a relationship with Joe McCann, her partner, who will soon become her fiancé during this very trip. Friends described their relationship as loving, supportive, filled with a kind of genuine connection that people spend lifetimes searching for. This was not supposed to end in tragedy. Now, here is where the story takes a devastating turn. According to the official family statement released on April 12th of 2026, Ashlee was found unconscious in her villa at Zuri, Zanzibar. Let that sink in for a moment. Found unconscious. Not sick, not complaining of symptoms, but found already unresponsive. The exact timeline remains unclear, but what we know is this. At some point during her stay, Ashlee became unconscious, within her accommodation, and someone, presumably Joe or resort staff, discovered her in that condition. Emergency protocols were immediately activated. She was rushed to a local hospital, medical teams working desperately to save her life. But despite their efforts, Ashlee Jenae was pronounced dead shortly after arrival. The family statements described this as a sudden and heartbreaking, language that suggests there was no prolonged illness, no warning signs, no gradual decline. One moment, a woman celebrating her birthday and engagement. The next, a family receiving the most devastating phone call imaginable. Now, here is what makes this especially troubling. Sudden death in otherwise healthy young adults are relatively rare, and when they occur in foreign countries, they trigger a complex web of international protocols, medical examinations, jurisdiction questions, and investigative procedures that can take weeks or months to resolve. The family is not just grieving, they are seeking answers in a situation where information is limited, communication is complicated by international boundaries, and the circumstances surrounding Ashlee's final hours remain maddeningly unclear. What caused a healthy 31-year-old woman to suddenly lose consciousness? Was there an underlying medical condition nobody knew about, a sudden cardiac event? Or, and this is the question that haunts cases like this, was there something environmental, something she consumed, something that happened in that villa that turned a dream vacation into a nightmare? When a foreign national dies suddenly in another country, multiple layers of investigation are typically activated. Local police conduct initial inquiries at the scene. Medical examiners perform autopsies to determine the cause of death. The deceased person's embassy gets involved to protect their citizens' rights and ensure proper procedures are followed. In Ashlee's case, Tanzanian authorities are conducting the primary investigation, while her family back home works through official channels to get information, push for transparency, and ensure this is not simply written off as an unfortunate medical event without proper scrutiny. Here is what we need to understand. The family statement specifically says they are seeking justice. That is significant language. Seeking justice suggests they believe something more than natural causes may be involved, or at minimum, that they haven't received satisfactory explanation for what happened to their daughter. In cases like these, families often face enormous obstacles. Language barriers, different legal systems, varying standards for medical examination and death investigation, delays in receiving autopsy results, difficulty in accessing witnesses or evidence, and resort properties and local authorities sometimes prioritizing reputation protection over complete transparency. I'm not suggesting anything nefarious happened at Zuri, Zanzibar, but I am highlighting the very real challenges families face when seeking answers about sudden deaths in foreign countries. First, what was the official cause of death? Have toxicology reports been completed? Have those results been shared with the family? Were there substances in Ashlee's system, whether prescription medication, alcohol, or anything that could have contributed to her death? Second, what was the exact timeline of events? When was she last seen alive and well? When was she found unconscious? How long elapsed before medical help arrived? Could faster intervention have changed the outcome? Third, were there any witnesses? What has Joe McCann told investigators? Were there other people present? Did resort staff observe anything unusual? Fourth, has the villa itself been examined? Were there environmental factors, carbon monoxide, gas leaks, electrical issues, contaminated food or water, that could explain a sudden loss of consciousness? Fifth, did Ashlee have any non-medical conditions? Had she experienced any symptoms in the hours or days before her death? Did she seek any medical attention during the trip? Sixth, what did the autopsy reveal? In case of sudden unexplained death in young adults, comprehensive post-mortem examination is essential. Yet, families sometimes wait weeks or months for complete results, especially when international jurisdictions are involved. These are not theoretical questions. These are the actual gaps in information that Ashlee's family is desperately trying to fill. And here is what makes this even more heartbreaking. While they were seeking answers, they are also planning a funeral, grieving an unimaginable loss, and trying to process how a birthday celebration ended in death. But the story doesn't end there, because the influencer community has rallied around Ashlee's memory in ways that demonstrate the real connection formed in digital spaces. When news of Ashlee's death first emerged, her followers and fellow creators were devastated. Social media platforms that had showcased her life now became spaces for memorial tributes. Hundreds of comments expressing shock, grief, condolences. People who had never met Ashlee in person but felt they knew her through years of shared content. This speaks to something important about modern influencer culture. These are not just parasocial relationships. For many followers, influencers like Ashlee represents real inspiration, real community, and real connection. Her death has also sparked broader conversation about travel safety, the importance of comprehensive travel insurance with medical evacuation coverage, the risk of medical emergencies in destinations with limited healthcare infrastructure, and the vulnerability that comes with being far from home in an unfamiliar setting. Zanzibar, while beautiful, is a developing destination where medical facilities may not match Western standards, where emergency response time can be slower, and where the nearest truly advanced trauma center might be hours away. So, where does this leave us today? As of now, the investigation into Ashlee Jenae's death remains active. Tanzanian authorities are continuing their works to determine the exact cause of death and circumstances surrounding the incidents. Ashlee's family continue pushing for transparency, for complete information, for the kind of closure that only truth can provide. The influencer community continues mourning a life cut devastatingly short, and those of us watching from the outside are left with the sobering reminder: life is fragile, tomorrow is never guaranteed, and sometimes the trips we think will create our best memories become our last moments. If you are impacted by Ashlee's story, here is what you can do. Share this video to keep attention on her case and support her family's research for answers. Leave a comment expressing your thoughts, your condolences, your own experiences with international travel emergencies. Subscribe to this channel so that you'll be notified if there are updates to this investigation, and perhaps most importantly, if you are planning international travel, take the extra steps to protect yourself, because preparation can make the difference between inconvenience and tragedy. Ashlee's family has asked for privacy during this difficult time, but they have also made clear they want the story told, they want awareness raised, they want other families to have the information and resources they might need if facing similar circumstances. So, we honor Ashlee's memory by refusing to let her story disappear, by demanding accountability, by supporting her loved ones' pursuit of truth. Rest in peace, Ashlee Jenae. Your life mattered, your story matters, and your family's fight for justice matters. If this video impacted you, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll continue following this story and will update you as new information becomes available.